Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Upper right corner we got Jedi 1 starting as the yellow Protoss. Bottom right corner we got Baal starting as the magenta Protoss. This is going to be a larger macro-oriented map. Radeon. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot. Might as well just stop saying it's a larger macro-oriented map and only point out when it's a smaller micro-oriented. I don't know what I want to call it the other way. Anyway, more creative map if someone goes on to Litmus or... I still remember one of the BSL maps, it was like Gold Rush or something like that. That was a weird map. I don't remember what season it was. I think I only casted a game on it. It was bizarre. But I think it ended up being... Anyway, I digress. Jedi 1 has been looking really strong, as has Baal. So this will be an interesting test of their skill. Interesting aspects of the Swiss bracket, by the way. You match people up of the same score, and you try not to have the same players play each other again. As part of the aspects of it. So I should also mention that. So this is, if they do end up winning out from this stage on, they don't, just because they go 2-0 or they go 2-1 from here, well, what are they? So 1-1. So if they end up at 2-1, they would not end up playing each other again at that stage as part of the rules of the Swiss bracket. Just so it's clear as mud, I'm sure. This looks like it might be a 2-gate here from both players because they're putting that gateway fairly close to the front. Usually when you're staging that gateway a little bit more forward like this, it suggests a bit more aggression, although we do have that initial zealot rallied toward the ramp where we have no rally here from Baal. I just realized you could do that. You can click here, you see that little green dot? Shows you the rally point. Do I get that for the... Yeah, Nexus is just left. Yeah, so 2-gate from Jedi 1, 2-gate from Baal, which means two aspects are going to be important. 1, micro, and 2, scouting. And it looks like Baal... He's not going to go for the cross-map scout, and that should alert Jedi 1 to that he's bottom right if he, depending on when he sees... So let's see if he goes north right this second or not, and if he spots that probe on his line. Because he sees the probe, he didn't catch him mid-map, which means he knows he didn't come from top left, so he should know that he needs to go bottom right. I think that's the... I think I'm correct on that overall mathematics, but does Jedi 1 realize that? Instead, no, he's going to go top left. Just the speed of that, because if he was going this way and it was... Anyway. I think that's how it works. The Zealot's going to go ahead and chase. Right now, Baal notes that it is a 2-gate from his opposition as well. Probe has taken some hits, however. No gas. We do have a defensive pylon just in case towards the front, and we do have 3 Zealots being fielded, but no gas as of yet from Baal. A big advantage of keeping... If he keeps that probe alive, it is a massive advantage because 1, you can see when your opponent's going assimilator, and 2, you can see how many zealots he's produced overall. 3 zealots, by the way, marching their way across. We have 3 zealots and a 4th zealot being queued up, and Baal grabbing that gas slightly later. It'd be cute if we saw a gas deal here from Baal. Baal unfortunately did not stick near the gateway line, so he might not have a... He knows the zealots are gone, but might not know... And the problem for Jedi right this second is he doesn't know he's going up against another 2-gate. 3 zealots gonna hold. Once he gets here and sees 3 zealots, he should have a pretty good idea though. And Baal's basically going to be able to hold this, potentially expend the zealots. If he peeks up and sees 4, you know it's a good opportunity to back out. We have 1 probe going ahead and assaulting that probe on the front in the space of this. Yeah, so he sees 5 zealots now actually. How many? 5, and we got 4 or 5 opposite side. So just needs to go for an inverted blockade and move as soon as things get dicey. Cybernetics core warping in a little bit earlier here. Another defensive pylon in the main. So it's now moving out. Yeah. Now the job for Jedi 1 is just maybe keep them around. Yeah, try to harass a probe. Deny the low ground as long as possible. Cybernetics core up. Another zealot was queued up to go up to 6. And 2 dragoons have been constructed in the meantime, so it's going to be 5. We got 5 and 5. One of them's a little bit out of position, so it's going to be 2-on-1 and another 2-on-1, and Baal dropping the ball. Oh man, I'll try not to say that anymore. Ending up in a disadvantageous situation where losing a zealot against some really solid micro from Jedi losing control of his own zealot, having to draw it back. With the way things are shaping up, Baal's ahead economically, but might not have the, with that economic lead, might not be able to push down to the natural expansion as rapidly as Jedi might potentially be able to. 2 Dragoons making the way across. The probe wants to maintain that scout. I think they got the edge of that Dragoon. And once the two Dragoons are out here for Baal, he should be able to attack into this. And it's important that he does so sooner rather than later. Again, to kind of free open the low ground to open up a faster natural expansion. Instead, he's dropped a third gate. And he still has full eyes, by the way. He sees a lack of robotics. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't opt for Citadel of Adun. So Dragoon's now trying to assault towards the high ground. Jedi 1 getting nothing out of that. Yeah, going ahead and backing up. Right that corner. Finally wiped out that probe. Dropped the robotics out of necessity. This is... Baal might win this effectively on head games alone. And the only faltering bit here... Yeah, because Jedi 1 sees no natural expansion. Baal had eyes there forever. Jedi 1 has to be thinking, okay, he saw that I didn't have robotics for forever. So let's get our robotics up. Let's get some detection up pretty rapidly. In the meantime, Baal's like, he's thinking I'm going DT. He's definitely not going DT. So let's go ahead and drop that gateway in the space of this. And then I'm just going to have an overwhelming attack. And so potentially walked his way through some nice probe handling into a build order victory. Potentially. Single probe pocketed right there, by the way. Sees the troops incoming. Now, there is a turnaround where Jedi 1, instead of dropping an observatory, drops robotics. Looks like he's going to drop the observatory instead. There's also a situation where Baal doesn't press the 3 gate. So those two Dragoons made their way out. The probe's still sitting at the 3 o'clock. No, he's going to... Okay, 3 gate into Nexus. Interesting. Not fully confident. Now I feel like that was just kind of some resources dropped. These guys are better than I am, so don't hold it. But Baal is going to end up with a faster expansion as a result. This is giving an opportunity for Jedi 1 to potentially get more tech on the ground, however. Probe getting wiped out right there as well. In between. So Baal still maintaining a very slight worker edge. He is going to end up with a massive lead. It could be he's worried about, was he worried about a DT follow-up? That's all I can imagine after going 3 gate and keeping that alive for such a long period of time and knowing that there's nothing in the natural expansion and knowing that your opponent hasn't gone DT themselves for that period of time. Anyway, robotic support bay, Reaver constructed. Do we have an observer? Yeah, okay, looks like he's going to lead. He dropped the observatory first, but is leading with the Reaver off everything that he spotted. So Jedi 1 with some pretty solid game sense right here. 2 additional gateways dropping to go up to 6 for Baal. Or is he going to sit on 5? Sitting on 5, which is an unusual number. Usually you go up to 6 when you're getting that natural expansion down like this. Dropping his own observatory in the midst of this. Jedi 1 might have an opportunity with a Reaver and a shuttle to make something happen, but right now he's certainly going to be down on supply. He's definitely going to end up push back on the overall macro fight. But at the very least, Jedi 1 knows that he's not going to be... If there was like an attack coming, he'd be somewhat comfortable with that Reaver on the low ground. Versus, I mean, honestly, in his head, I don't know that he can tell absolutely anything. He's just checking the map to make sure that there's no proxies piling there at the 12 o'clock, at the 3 o'clock as well, just in case some shuttles are making their way across. I gotta presume that Jedi 1's scratching his head at this. And I'm only saying that because I'm scratching my head a little bit. But Baal, now that natural expansion's up a little bit more rapidly, Baal is going to end up ahead as long as he stays on top of his macro cycles, because he's got the 5 gateways versus 2 in a much faster order. But Jedi 1 has snuck ahead in the overall worker count off the 2 Nexus somehow. Observer also setting midfield, the Observer not pushing up aggressively either. So I feel like Baal maybe was just playing overly cautious. Starting to press out at this distance. So we got a Reaver and shuttle to provide a little bit of support on another round or two. So in another minute or two, you're going to start seeing a significant supply lead for Baal. The next question is he going to play that aggressive or passive? Is he just going to go for a faster third base on presumption, or is he going to actually go for an assault? The way the troops are positioned, I do believe he's going to, make his way out. Wanted to say that If they were positioned a little bit more towards this bridge line, we're going to see more of a grab towards the third. And if they're moving, they're fanning out towards the mid, just to hold middle and respond. Oh my gosh, that shuttle. These Dragoons backing up. That saved that shuttle. That's been spotted. Is Baal responding? Or is he just going to dive? Got a free Dragoon right there. 4 gateways on the way. 2 of them still not there. This Reaver plopping out. The shuttle was spotted, right? So Baal drawing back towards the natural. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and clog that up. Jedi has the option to just hold back, though. Difference, this is a larger troop count here for Baal, by the way. 6 o'clock looks like it's being picked up. Shuttle. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It's a trap. I think Jedi recognizing that the jig is up. So Jedi has more probes saturated across the same 2 bases. That means that army is a significant clip ahead, by the way. Still checking nearby, still just a bunch of Dragoon stage. You can actually keep, I think Baal, if he's doing the calculations, can keep those troops there effectively, because essentially, mathematically, if he knows he's up gateways and economically, you can basically have just a few Dragoons just hanging out there to make up the difference. Jedi 1 clearing the Zealot there at the 3 o'clock, has a big army here mid-map. Again, do the math here, so 10, so he's like 10 supply up. A good portion of that is still sitting at the natural, but this also means the Reaver and the Zealots are not there. Jedi 1's shuttle's kind of trapped. It's got to go a long way around. Baal's still not making motions to take the 6 o'clock. He's still hanging out. Is he going to wait for... Kind of wondering what Baal's waiting for. In the meantime, Jedi 1 has gotten 6 gateways up himself. So it's going to be even in production. It looks like a 7th gateway going up for Baal, so he's definitely going for it. He got Templar Archives up with the Citadel of Adun in the midst of this and is researching Psystorm, so maybe he's thinking he's going to go Psystorm in the space of this. Baal's basically skipped Reavers altogether. And Jedi 1 hasn't gotten a lot of value out of the Reavers and Zealots that have been interior to this ramp, although might do so, at least he's going to get the Reaver out. Does get the Reaver out, he's going to get a shot. Gets a shot. Oh, what a big shot it was. So Reaver dies, but a lot of probes were wiped out. But Baal still has a massive standing army. Still 2 Reaver advantage though, so maybe he still waits for Psystorm before going. Since he's skipping Reavers altogether. Jedi 1 fanning out mid-map, by the way. Looking for a rapid assault. Thank you for the raid, by the way, Ozzy. Reaver's diving forward. That's a... Ooh, shuttle drawing all the way to the back. Much better encapsulation here from Baal. The Reavers are now joining the fray. Might get some shots along that. One Reaver's going to get popped out and honestly didn't get a lot accomplished there. That's getting pushed back. And I think Baal might win this just by having a massive troop lead here. This is going to be more than a full control group of Dragoons that remain. This is still at a close reinforcement point. But all Baal has to do is just keep rallying forward, and man, picked off the shuttle with the Reaver there again. Now down to a single. But Jedi 1 looks like he is starting to climb back into this. Here come the oh, never mind. High Templar making the way up. They're going to get there in time. Dropping one Psystorm. Another bunch potentially. Yeah, there's another Psystorm. That's going to push them the rest of the way back. And now Baal... Well, okay. Unit choice is big here. Jedi 1 built a lot of Zealots. He's got the Reaver to the low ground. Still might be able to defend this. That was a huge shot on those Dragoons, and the Zealots are going to, in fact, push the rest of these Dragoons back. And Archon morphing at the short hand edge of this. And eventually, the lack of workers is going to cut in here. Because 27, that's somewhat short of full production off. So 33 is usually where you want to be for full on 2. Looks like that pylon is getting wiped out at 3 o'clock. The Archon getting completely grouped up. That was the wrong sort of group hug you want right there. Absolute decimation. +1 weapons about to finish here for Jedi 1 as well. So it looks like he might have held. And still working with a healthy economy. How close are we? It could be a minute before there's a starve out here. And are there any additional High Templar? It looks like we have a few High Templar that are queued up in the midst of this. Jedi 1 making his way out. We got at least a Psystorm. trying to go on the shuttle. I think that would have been better spent on the Dragoons. Looks like the second one is being spent on the Dragoons to the north. The Zealots able to clear up a lot of that attack force. And once it's Reavers versus Zealots, and you get splash damage like that, it is bad news. High Templar getting absolutely smushed. Huge supply lead now for Jedi 1. Should have, yeah, like that does open up his a third base for him. Kind of skirting some Zealots across. It looks like Baal trying to grab the 6 o'clock. I don't think he can defend that 6 o'clock. Jedi 1 recognizing the turnaround desperation attempt is diving in. Gonna be able to wipe out that Dragoon. Should be able to power down that Nexus. With group attack, we have some more units making their way across. Try to do what they can. Well, I might have spoken too soon. Looks like Baal does have enough troops at the close point to go ahead and defend this. An okay exchange for Jedi 1, but not fantastic. But that 3, and actually this is going to finish. Yeah, it finishes much more rapidly. But Baal still has that sizable probe deficit to work with. Now things change in the equation a bit because the 6 o'clock base has been grabbed. If Baal can saturate that, we're about to hit the 17-minute mark. And that is when the main is effectively depleted. Jedi 1 is over-probed. He needs to grab another base to really get full utilization out of the probes he's got. He has the Reavers, he's got shuttle speed. That's going to be a big X factor, but we're going to see more and more High Templar on Baal's side of the map. And never mind, I was about to say, are we going to see that many High Templar on Jedi 1? We do see a flurry. These probes exiting too late, by the way. This should be an easy shot. At least 4 dying right there. The gas also going to get halted, and a High Templar taking a big hit as well. Baal repositioning a lot of these troops. Has a Dark Templar in the mix of it. Do we have an observer? We do have an observer. But keep in mind, observers can make... High Templar and Sidestorm can make short work of observers. This is only a single observer. So a Dark Templar could create a lot of chaos here. 6 o'clock base is saturated. Then I missed the shuttle getting wiped out. Never mind, the shuttle retreated to the 3 o'clock. This 6 o'clock base is very exposed. But Jedi 1 could make a terrible mistake and position poorly, but could open up something crazy as well. We also got a little probe sneaking here to the left, and he's looking very suspicious as far as composition. Some Archons taking the field, some High Templar joining the front. Jedi 1 recognizes, I think if he just defends, he'll be in a pretty good position, but Baal's keeping this relatively competitive. Now, again, does the Observer get sniped? That's going to be the big bits. Some Psystorms drop, probes in transfer. Reaver is getting some good hits in the midst of this. Reaver's going to take some damage. The Observer looks like it is going to remain free, and Dragoons are getting right on top. I'm sorry, the Zealots are getting right on top of those Dragoons. And Reavers are coming late to the party, which means they're not eating Psystorm at all. And it looks like a handful of troops are rallied forward, and they're just going to get obliterated. Some additional Psystorm dropping, the Archon absorbing all of it. So Baal's shredding, losing a lot of troops. So lost that attack, a Dark Templar of his own, by the way, on the front. He lost that fight handily. The Psystorms really did not carry him. It looks like we're going to have another attack now into the 6 o'clock. This time the reinforcements are going to be boxed out because we've got these big balls of fire in between to go ahead and clear it. The probes are going to lose their lives as they're making their way across, and that's GG from Baal. In some reality, Baal continues with that 3-gate. And granted, it's cross map, and it would have been a challenge. I wonder if a 4-gate actually would have been the... Anyway, in some reality, that was the play, and this completely turned out differently. But this is the reality we got to stick with, and it was still a very entertaining match. Both these guys playing pretty well. I enjoyed it. Anyway, game 1 to Jedi 1. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.